The next speaker is a truly remarkable individual. Carl Hart is a professor of psychology at Columbia University. He's the director of the methamphetamine research laboratories. He's one of the few scientific researchers in the United States involved in human studies funded by the federal government that involve the administration of cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and ecstasy to human subjects in the United States. And he is a committed ally and a new member of the board of the Drug Policy Alliance. Carl?
Wow, thank you, Ethan. As was said before, Ethan just talked to me 5 minutes before this happened and said that, yo, we need you to do this. Canceled my flight. I was scheduled to leave. So thank you. So thank you all for the love. Okay, thinking about the SSDP, the students, mad props to you. Now, I have to say that if it were not for you, I wouldn't have met Ethan. I met Ethan at one of your conferences at Columbia University. Ethan opened the conference and I closed it, and as a result, folks told me about him and him about and vice versa. And so, thank you, SSDP. Okay, give you all just a slight background. I don't usually do this. I don't usually hang out with folks like you all. You all, no, I'm a scientist. I'm in the lab. There are different types of people. I mean, you are some bizarre looking cats. But you know, that's cool. That's all right. It's okay because I am too. I mean, I don't look like the cats in the lab either. So you are my people. So. Now, I don't have that much time, so I have to talk quickly. So I have a few points that I want to address. One of the things I want to talk about is why I joined the board. At some level, it might be a no-brainer for some people, but for me, it's not, because there are some potential consequences of joining the board of DPA, because my current boss was in the first Bush administration, and he was the deputy drug czar, and I'm currently up for tenure. And so you can see the potential consequences, right? Now, so when Ethan asked, would I join the board, and you know, he did it with some trepidation, and so I thought about it, and then I thought that, you know what, there comes a time in your life when you have to live like the man or the person that you think you are. Now, that's a challenge to you all, because I hear you guys preach to the choir, and this is the choir, and I hear you preach among yourselves about your issues, about drug policy, and there needs to be reform and so forth. But by that same token, I hear you, like the marijuana smokers, criticize the methamphetamine users, the crack cocaine users being criticized by the heroin users. What kind of shit is that? So when we think about these things, when we think about this, they're psychoactive drugs and people use them for whatever reasons. Doesn't make them any less than you and your drug of choice. So I ask you and I challenge you, when people are talking about crack cocaine smokers, white folks, among yourselves, make sure you remind folks that most of the users are white and not the images that the media show. And you got to do that. It's easy for me to say it, but you got to do it. And it's easy for you guys to be in here preaching to your choir. But challenge those folks who don't think like you. Like I said, I don't usually come to this kind of meeting, but I had to challenge myself. Ethan came to one of my meetings. I had a meeting on neuropsychopharmacology of cognitive impairments or something. Ethan came to the meeting and he stayed all day. He spoke for 5 minutes. It wasn't his show. It It was other researchers, and we talked about neuroscience in the brain and those kinds of things, and he stayed all day. He did it for me. As a result, I come here. I learn. So that's another challenge for you guys. Don't only come to this meeting. Go to the meeting where the researchers are. Talk to them. Speaking of research, now this is what I do. I'm a college professor. Speaking of research, so many of us have uncritically accepted the neuroscience for drugs of abuse. Uncritically accepted that, oh, well, these brain changes occur. Brain changes are occurring right now as I speak to you. What the hell does that mean? So your challenge there is to get more informed about the neuroscience. Not so that you can perpetuate the myths or the misinformation, but so you can be critical consumers of the information. So with that, I think I'm going to end. Thank you guys for my time.